Okay, let the battery charge up for a second. Yeah, we got no spark. The fact that the 440 didn't fire right off is because of a faulty coil. We have usually it's a proven coil that we use, just like a proven carburetor that we use. In this case, we had a 6-pack, so we used the original 6-pack setup to start the engine. But the coil that we used has started 100 engines on that stand. It started leaking oil out of it. When it does that, it starts losing its ability to create power, and therefore we had a faulty ignition, so to speak. That's the only reason that engine didn't fire up like that.
You ready?
Damn that mother humper off.
It's still
Way
really
retarded. Sounding better? Everything's working great. You know, you never get one of these things started up perfectly. Timing needed to be bumped a little bit. Originally, we had it 180 out, such is life. But it's running now, it's running great. We got all the oil pressure is perfect, water temperature is perfect. Everything is running great on it. Let it break in the camshaft for about another 15 minutes, and we'll let it cool down. Tomorrow, we'll get it moved off of that stand over onto the regular assembly stand. We've got a drivetrain done.
So I just got off the phone with some of our clients and went and talked to my dad to see what else I can do. And he actually has something for me to get started out in the shop. I'm pretty excited. I hope that it's something to do with paint or maybe in the engine room, but I'm not sure.
So what I want you to do, and I'm glad that you're excited about it, I want you to start working on helping me sort out some of the pieces. Nick's kind of been dropping the ball, which every employee always starts out 1,000 miles an hour and then they start petering off.
Well, you also give every employee
but
like
he did
50
do a good job. If you look
different
around,
things to do. You usually give people like 100 different things to do, so.
Well, that's because I do 2,000. But
Okay.
you see, he's done a good job of organizing up the parts room. It's looking good.
Yeah.
This is where he's falling apart right here.
Oh my.
So here's where he left off. You don't know what all these are, but
Okay.
this, you don't need to know what this is. It's a speedometer gear for a transmission, but you could just put it there for right now. So like this right here, I can assure you there's probably lots of things like this. These are shims. So anytime
What's a shim?
A shim is something
Like
that
this?
you would use in a body. No, those are part of a window regulator assembly. Those are all part of windows.
Okay.
So you just, yeah, kind of maybe just start setting them into small piles. Find out what you actually have an accumulation of. Sorry, I don't mean to use that big word, like a lot of. And then you could put those in the bins.
Was that necessary? Was it?
Well, I was there when
Thank you for always creating such a constructive learning environment for me.
I paid for your diploma. Okay, get them
Where
all
are you
sorted
going?
out.
Are you not going to help me?
What? No, I'm not gonna
I don't-
stand there and do that. That's grunt work.
Oh my God.
Just start putting the things in the places where they belong.
Okay.
Rock and roll, turn and burn. Put it and do it. See it
Fun,
and dream
thank
it.
you.
Right now we're hitting on all cylinders. I mean, we are really punching out a lot of hardware. Things are going great. That means that our 1970 Hemi Coronet RT convertible is getting disassembled. You're talking about a car that has the wildest engine available, probably the wildest color available. It's a convertible top, it's a 4-speed, it's a super track pack car, and it really is an early version story of a car that was dead in a junkyard, forgotten, and left to die, that came back to life because of somebody like myself 2 or 3 decades ago. Now it's just getting freshened up. This car is without a doubt probably the most collectible car on the planet, next to the 71 Hemi Cuda convertible. Royal, do you remember the history on this car?
Pardon?
You remember this car? You know this is 1 of 2, right?
I know, that's all I know.
So the car was abandoned and found in a Canadian junkyard back in the 70s.
Oh, really?
Motor and transmission were gone to it. Back then, there was a few guys that knew Mopars, right? Not everybody like today because of the internet, but back then.
Uh-huh.
He looks at the VIN number on the fender tag, says, oh,
Oh,
70
my.
Hemi Core. Yeah, looks at the registry, there's none registered, goes and figures out that it's 1 of 2 made, and he starts building the car back together. And so what we're looking at right now, whoever built the car back in the 70s or early 80s when it was put together, actually did a phenomenal job, because you remember, there was nothing available.
Oh,
that
yeah.
poor guy had to go to everything that was available. He couldn't go on the internet and just look up and see what the marking was supposed to be here or the marking was supposed to be there.
No, he could probably get a lot of NOS parts.
Probably a knowledgeable guy, but he could get NOS parts, which he couldn't get today. But you're still talking about an incredibly rare car. The 70 Coronet convertible is one of only 2 RTs with a Hemi. That means we gotta be on our A game. We're reusing a lot of these parts, so everything has to be inventoried and taken good care of.